Welcome back to Stick It To 'em, Episode 3, starring GiTsticker himself. This is Onosaurus. We have received a whole bunch of comments requesting this super popular series to come back. And by that, I mean there were 2 YouTube comments in the last month. So we figured, why the heck not? Let us record Episode 3 after a 6-year hiatus. And with us is GiTsticker. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. So, GiTsticker, what have you been up to for the last 6 years?
I moved to the West Coast, been working, had some kids. Currently not working because coronavirus. And so I got a little bit of a chance to play a little bit more and practice my 1v1s. It's a lot
Cool.
different than it
Now,
used to be.
cool, yeah, my understanding is that you've been playing a little bit casually over the last couple of years, but due to not being able to work recently, you've been able to put in a bit more time. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So I've been pretty casual. Still consider myself casual for sure, but just more time put in lately just because uh, a lot more time available really. But
Gotcha. And you've gone from
yeah,
Mercury to Mercury.
yeah. I mean, I go with what I'm comfortable with. It's like I said, the game's changed quite a bit um, from what it used to be. I was actually watching the old video that we did where I was playing Mercury against Freya, and gosh, Mercury was like so broken back then. I was watching that gameplay and I was making so many mistakes that I could just get away with for free because Mercury was just so good.
Also, I
Um,
imagine because he hadn't, if I remember correctly, he hadn't been out that long. He was one of the newer champions, at least when I still played with you. You may have continued a while after that, but I imagine just over time, understanding everyone having more matchup experience and understanding all the different interactions mean people are probably going to get better with their positioning over time. What do you think?
it could be. I think actually a bigger part is just that the player base in general is a lot better now than it used to be. Back then, streaming wasn't as big a deal, especially for Smite. And I noticed that it's become a lot more of a thing. And I think with that, um, people have just kind of learned what is meta, what people should be doing, and have a lot deeper, more thorough understanding of the game. Um, so I had a lot of catching up to do. When I started playing again, I was just like, gosh, everybody just seems better than they used to be. Um, so I had to do a lot of learning, a lot of practicing in order just to get up to speed. So yeah, I think everybody's just better than they used to be.
Well, thanks, High Res, for doing a good job in getting this game to success. I still mourn the loss of Tribes Ascend, but that's another story. Um, so regarding Smite, you mentioned you moved to the West Coast. I think oftentimes you play on East Coast servers. You play the very fast character and play a very fast character that requires very fast reaction time. Um, I know because I'm just telling the audience. You were my roommate at the time, and so I know you used to get less than 20 ping. I imagine reaction time is different living on the West Coast. Do you actually feel it makes a difference in your play?
Yeah, for sure. I just for a while I just couldn't play anymore. I mean, imagine going from 20 ping to 110. It's like an entirely different game. I can't play. I probably could play ranged, um, like ADCs and stuff like that. But I feel like the aim is just so difficult. It would take me so long to get used to. I played Mercury mainly because, or I play melee gods in general, really, just because it's easier to hit autos, and there's not a lot of auto canceling. There's not a lot of mechanical stuff that you have to do with Mercury. It's just kind of you just hold W and left click a lot of the time. So I can get away with that with high ping.
All right, and that seems like a good transition into this specific matchup. Would you like to start talking about fighting on her, or do you want to go through the bans first and see how you ended up there?
We do bands, I guess, since
Go for it.
that's the very first thing. So Mercury does not deal with. If you look at the bands in the upper left, he doesn't deal with any of these characters very well. Kronos can just survive Mercury's all in and then rewind, and then there's Mercury just doesn't have enough beads to deal with all of the stuns that Kronos is going to give you. Hebo is just everybody knows Hebo's OP and he can duel. I don't know, maybe Hebo and Mercury. Maybe it's I'm not familiar with the matchup, but it seems like Hebo just would destroy Mercury. Um, Anytime her ice is up, she's going to win any fight. You just cannot stick to her. Kali wins the all-in because of her ults. And AMC, I think I banned AMC just because the other hunters were banned by the other players, namely Heimdallr and Dillard. But I like to ban AMC because his pressure early on in the game sometimes is just so much that you can't catch up.
Bees.
Yeah, his clear is too good. His movement speed, he can just kind of like clear the map up and then get your tower, get the Bull Demon, get the Phoenix before you even get Mercury online. So yeah, about the matchup. So Mercury against Honor is one of my favorite matchups because there's so much outplay potential between on both sides. So Honor's pillar can block my ult, he can jump over my ult, he can CC into my ult. My 2 is slow immunity for his pillar. My dash is knockup immune, so I can dash his jump. It's just it's fun, at least from my perspective, to play against Honor. You see, I got beads just to deal with the intel, which is going to be my biggest challenge, especially early on in the game when I don't have hastened katana, so I can't really position myself very well to avoid getting impaled. But yeah, it's a really cool matchup. I think Honor wins early. I think Mercury wins late. So it's just going to be a matter of can I survive to that point where I can kind of get to them and put thorns up and double defense.
Cool. Anything to say about the other starting items aside from relics?
Or what? Let me bring it to items. So I just went boots 2, no starter items. Um, a lot of people, I would say actually most people probably start golden, I think it's called Thousand-Fold Blade or something like that. Basically, tier 2 of Golden Blade and a couple of potions are on as soon as possible. I don't do that in all matchups. A lot of times I like to just get the boots going because boots is just, I feel, is the best item for Mercury in terms of cost. He gets all of that power from the movement, and you actually can fight with your boots early on in the game. You may not be able to clear very well, but you can contest blocks because you'll have your boots before them, and they don't have their power spike. You get your power spike really early so that you can fight and sacrifice a little bit of clear early on. That's just the way I do it. And then I'll probably go Golden Blade afterwards.
All right, and anything about on her starting items that will maybe affect how you play?
Um, well, he's got pretty much the meta item. Almost all hunters are going to be going attackers with tier 1. What's it called? Morningstar, something like that. Yeah, Morningstar. They get a lot of power. They get a little bit of mana regen, and that'll get them into their transcendence, so they get that big power spike later on in the game. So I pretty much expect him to build that. Anything aside from that is going to be, it's probably going to be less than optimal. So I just expect it either way. Yeah, he got Shell, which is going to be a good survival early game option for him. Another option could have been beads to try to prevent him from getting one shot by my ult combo. Then again, he has so many options to prevent me from hitting with his ult. He doesn't really need to do that. So Shell's a good option for him, and he'll transition to a good late game item for him as well. So yeah,
Alrighty. Yeah. Well, it's been over 10 minutes, so let's jump into the game. Let's see some action. I'm at game starts in 20. You're near the Phoenix. I am ready to unpause when you are, and you just direct me from there, and we'll take it from there. All right?
okay, I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then you can hit play.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play. I placed my ward back here because I'm checking to see if he's going to try to invade my blue. And I do see him back there, so I just ignore my blue, and then I go for his blue. I don't know this, but he has his blue warded as well, so he sees me starting his blue, and he's coming to get me right now. He looks at that, and I see him here, and he out secures me, and he gets his blue and both of the minis. So this is looking really bad so far.
It happens, and I guess you expect him to have the edge early game anyway. You mentioned, and that doesn't help that he got even stronger early game.
Yeah, he wastes his clear right here, so you hit me with the intail. Um, I'm getting punished really hard for it. I think he might kill me here. Yeah, he does. Just an example of how the fact that I can't clear very well early on puts me in a spot where I need to just be way more passive than I'm currently being. I tried to engage on him because he wasted his clear, and even though he used his clear on me, he still was able to kill.
Yeah. When you kill these camps, are you focusing the small ones, large ones, or are you kind of distributing the damage evenly?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Yeah, there's an optimal way to do it. If you like use your second hit on the small creep, it will damage them just enough so that your one can kill them. But later on in the game, like after level 3 or so, it's not even important.
Gotcha. I notice it looks, at least to me, like he's using that pillar defensively. When he's near the tower, he just like drops it. Okay.
Yeah.
And there,
Yeah,
I assumed that was to option select you using your ultimate when he dropped it in front of you. Like
Yeah,
a
so
lot just happened.
Yeah, he's trying to preempt my. See that?
Yeah.
He's got so many options against my ult. Now he's preempting them by just kind of like throwing out pillars to block me in case I ult. This guy's a really good player, but if he's playing perfectly, what he would do is wait for my ult to go off, and he actually has a lot. He has enough time that he can react and drop the pillar. He's not just throwing out, you know, if they counter my ult, even though I'm not going to ult. So what I'll do throughout this game is I'll just charge my ult to try to fade out of those, and it works to some degree. He could just wait, and as long as he's looking at me, he'll see the ult start to go off before it actually does, and
So
he should be able to react.
for people who are less familiar with Mercury, what's the visual cue? Are they looking for you to turn gold, or are they looking for a specific pose to know that you've committed to it?
Yeah, so Mercury just, like a little line appears on the ground that shows his path that he's going to take. And once that appears, then you know that you got it.
Close
So right
exchange.
here, interesting. Yeah, we both throw abilities like around the corner. Something interesting about Merc's one actually is that the little area of effect can actually reach around corners. So if someone's trying to like stand around a corner, you notice I aimed to the side of him there.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to throw up a pillar, which he did. So I got around the pillar.
Okay, so that was just a gap close to keep the threat on.
Yes, but also, you see I'm trying to poke around the corner because I don't know where he is. Also, Mercury's ultimate is wider than his body. So sometimes he can get around the pillar and still hit the on her. You know what I mean? Like,
So I was watching that from your perspective. I don't think you knew he was there.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't.
Oh man.
I just like threw out a beads because I was scared, I think.
Yeah, watching the mini-map, it looked really funny, but of course, as the observer, you know, we have that extra information.
Yeah, and he's you notice I have my vision ward up and I'm not using it at all. The Honor is using his a lot better, so he has vision in those situations.
Cool. What's your second... never mind, you just bought it. Well, what's the thoughts behind your second item?
Yeah, so Golden Blade. Golden Blade is necessary in a lot of matchups because what your opponent can do is just abuse the fact that you can't clear the wave and then just fight you in the wave. And
I'll wait till after this skirmish, but I want to know if there is a matchup where you wouldn't get that second item, because it seems like such a standard item for Merc.
Oh yeah, there are matchups in which I won't get Golden Blade. I'm still kind of figuring that out, but basically matchups where you don't expect to be fighting your opponent in the wave very often. An example where you almost certainly are going to want Golden Blade is like against like a Rock, right? Because he's going to be healing his wave, standing in his wave, so you're just never going to clear. A matchup where you may not necessarily need Golden Blade is against like another melee assassin that is going to be clearing and then going elsewhere and doing buffs, and then you're going to be having the wave to yourself to clear it. I mean, or if you see a lot more value in getting like a stone cutting early on, it's really good against other melee physicals.
So I'm surprised when you ulted in and missed, and you did your dash and missed. I'm surprised he jumped away rather than jumping at you, because I would guess with all that down you'd be at a disadvantage. Or I don't know. Do you feel like you're just too strong right now?
Well, I'm up on an experience, so you could tell that I'm level 11. He's level 9. So here you jump straight up and down.
Yeah, his jumps down, and yeah.
I'd have to see. Maybe his cooldowns are down. I'm not sure.
His ult is. I think that's the blue gem thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah. So his ult wasn't up. He had already leaped and pillared, so. Yeah.
It could have been just like he was just trying to just escape. So that's another interesting point about this matchup. Both characters have pretty good disengage from one another, so they can either player, if they're starting to lose, they can kind of just say, okay, I don't want to fight this. I'm going to go somewhere else. On her can jump over a wall. Mercury can't get over the wall. Has to go all the way around. Mercury has his dash, has his ult to escape. A lot of options for both characters to kind of just get away. Now, as Mercury gets more and more move speed, it's going to be harder and harder for on her to disengage, and I think that's what gives Mercury the edge later on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you had about 50%, nice bait, you had about 50% extra XP per minute on him, and it was like, 600-ish versus 900-ish, and it's still not that far off, so yeah, the lead seems pretty commanding at this point.
And I think it comes down to just despite that early blue where he outsecured me, a lot of the buffs are going in my favor. I'm up in kills, obviously, that makes a difference. But also, when he impaled me at my blue buff earlier on, I also got that red early on when I killed him. I'm just farming a little bit better than he is. I wouldn't expect to be this far ahead of an honor at this point of the game. I think it's just the way it goes if you can outsecure.
Nice poke.
It's destroyed me right there, even through thorns. You can see I engaged my thorns as a response to his ult. but I was way overconfident because you can see I don't have any defense online yet, so he was able to kill me even through the thorns.
Yeah, you both have really high damage output, for sure.
Yeah, you can expect both players to start going defense at this point of the game.
Yeah.
And interesting thing about thorns, the more defense you have, the better thorns become. Just because you can just survive all their damage and it's all getting returned back to the energy. Especially in a physical versus physical matchup.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't expect them to have that much magical D.
Yeah, no magical D aside from the base
Right.
stats. Um, disengage.
I'm surprised you didn't go try and finish that tower, or pardon, what do you call them now?
Yeah, towers.
They are tower. You got the tower, the phoenix, and the minnow.
The Minotaur. That's called Titan now.
The titan.
So, yeah. Um, yeah, it's not that point in the game where I'm trying to go for objectives yet. I'm not trying to end yet. My main focus is just to get to level 20, really. And to get, like, maybe 4 or 5 items online. I feel the longer that the game goes on, the easier it's going to be for me. Oh, this is sick. Watch this ult.
And your thorns is up in 5 seconds, too. So, there's a good timing.
Oh, never mind.
Excellent. I was really impressed by that ult.
It's coming later. You'll see it.
I can't wait to see if you're serious or sarcastic about if it's like perfect and you stop right at his feet or something. We'll see. All right.
That's actually terrible. So the reason I'm going for this,
and this is my first time seeing this. Oh.
Oh yeah, so Demon King. I'll just tell you since I'm sure the audience knows already, but Demon King. Okay, so he beats right there. Good beats by him.
Oh.
Activate Thorns, so he cancels his ult. I use my beads to cancel his jump knockup. And we both traded, I think, all of our relics and both of our ults. So neither of us have anything now, and neither of us died. So this played really well on both sides, that engagement. That's pretty much how it should go on her versus Mercury.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I keep thinking you'll like just poke the tower a little bit, but you really don't care about it as much as getting a few extra seconds to do objectives. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a lot to do on this map. So as long as there's golden XP to be had, like if I stay and poke that tower, it's going to take me longer to back, and he will be able to get out onto the map and threaten some objective, namely Boldian King, which he's moving towards right now.
Do you get gold from towers in this game?
Yeah, you do. But he's doing the DK right now. So just to explain to you, I'm sure the audience knows, but that thing, if you kill it, it disables other people's power. So if he was to kill that Bull Demon King, or if I was to, so it would disable the Phoenix. So he would just be able to fight me in the Phoenix, or just take my Phoenix for free. So that's kind of like, that was added after you finished playing. It's kind of like a new feature.
What are you doing in lane right now?
I'm just holding it. Because it's on my side of the map, so he's not getting any of the experience of my main side. And there wasn't much to do on the map. But now the red's up, I'm going to go do that.
I hadn't seen you freeze a lane yet in any of our replays, so that's good to see that.
It's just free. It's just free pressure. You know what I mean? There was not much to do on my side of the map besides from that red that just spawned.
Alright, well you've gotten your Breastplate of Valor, and he's got... Ooh, he went defensive and then Executioner.
There's the ult.
Oh, beautiful. You just jump for joy after.
Yeah.
So is that because of 100 ping?
I just suck. He knows I'm coming also here, so he's like poking me out, but I have great disengage since so fast.
And your beads is up in 3. So you have that out.
Back when you were playing, the item that allowed you to attack and keep moving was called Fatalis.
Yes.
Oh, he blocked my dash as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
got...
now it's called Hasten Katana. So you see all these blades. There's Golden Blade,
Yeah.
and then there's this other one there, that green one, that's Stone Cutting.
Yeah.
That's only melee physical can get that item. And then the third one that I'm building right now is Hasten Katana. That's what's going to allow me to attack him and keep moving.
And why don't you get that earlier?
Because the reason you get it is that he gets the bold aim, and I activate both relics.
Oh man, his leap did nothing.
Right,
But you both blew a lot.
Mm-hmm. He gets a really good impale here.
Yeah.
He's trying to disengage.
Nice. And you still have your ult. His ult's down.
But he still has like a lot of options to actually do something.
That was a... I like that ult. The short distance, stay close range so you can follow up.
He
Oh
dodged my 3.
no! No!
Pretty good impale on his part.
Yeah. Yep. Good disengage by him. Pretty sure he's away. Oh!
I'm just gonna get the
wow.
ult out of him.
I feel like he just ulted.
Yeah, so you asked me why not get hastened earlier on. And
Yeah.
the reason is because, like, if I can stick to him, strong enough to actually kill. Like, he may just win the fight. Like, hasten, the stats are not great on it for fighting.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. It has... Because it has such a good ability, yeah, then it has lower stats to balance it.
Yeah, it's like a fifth, sometimes fourth item purchase. And it's really good against when you're physical against range.
Hanging out in base?
I think I was waiting for gold to get
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
There's a point in the game now where I feel really powerful because with Hastened, I basically removed his ability to disengage as well, as he has been doing. So my damage is going to be a lot more consistent. We chose different defensive items. He went Nemean, just better stats than Breastplate. I went Breastplate for the CDR so that I can have my slow immune up for his killer more often so that I can dash his jumps more often. I just want to have options available, more so than just straight up stats. The fact that I have stone cutting is and he doesn't because he's ranged is kind of like makes up for any lack of stats that I would not get by having.
I see. So you're level 20, and I'm not sure how much time is left in the replay, but I'm not sure what respawn times are like at this point, but is it at the point where one good fight will turn the whole tide pretty much, or the Demon King will turn the tide?
Demon King will disable his Phoenix and it'll allow me to pressure him while he's under the Phoenix. Oh, this is actually a good play. So he ulted the Cold Demon,
wow.
and I used my dash to last hit it.
Yeah.
He's wrecking me right here. Like, if he actually killed me right there, he could probably have the end of the game. He would have used that wave to get my Phoenix and put a lot of damage on my Titan combo as well.
Huh.
I was super lucky to get out of that alive.
Yeah, one auto attack away. It was good you didn't panic cancel your ult. You kept it charged, so when you had the angle, you were out.
Smart of him for staying on my side of the map right here. He's trying to, on that BDK debuff on his Phoenix.
Yeah.
If he can keep me over here, then
For
he
sure.
can.
Nice.
Interesting little dance there while we're both waiting for our cooldowns to be up. We're just kind of like spacing each other out and also
Yeah.
trying to juke. He's trying to back over there, so I'm just like, whatever. I'm just gonna get the Phoenix if he's gonna
Yeah.
try to back over there.
Now you care about the objective.
Yeah, it's that point of the game. So because I have hasten, also it makes it that's a really good tail by him. It makes it really really hard for him to keep me off of
Oh
her.
no. Oh, you got locked between the Phoenix and the pillar.
Last item, second defense. That's just gonna amplify my thorns. The game goal for Mercury is to be able to just stick on her with thorns on, and on her can't get away and he'll kill himself attacking with her. On her himself didn't get thorns, he got it. But he's trying to just create a situation where he can survive my burst and not die. I have fire minions go into his base, so I'm just trying to prevent him from backing, and then
Yeah.
fire minions will actually just end the game for me.
Yeah, you're in a great position. I'm not sure. Are you looking for him to waste the cooldown to engage, or are you might just go in, yeah, to buy some time? Oh, he dodged again.
I just didn't. I didn't have to fight him. Like if we just sat there and didn't fight at all, the game would just end because fire minions would kill the Titan. So
Right.
I was in a position where he had to engage on me, or he had to go back to base, which he did. So, like, oh, which is funny. Yeah, we both kill each other, and then fire minions. There's just tons of fire minions, like two waves there. So
Double
they should just be
kill.
able to. They should be able to
Yeah.
end the game. That's it.
Wow. I thought that was a gorilla the first time I saw it. I can't tell what it is. Oh man. GG. Final thoughts?
um. I don't know. Yeah, sure. What did everybody do wrong? Um, there's some really bad ults on my part. Uh, I think that my build was on point. I think that the on hers build, if you bring up the scoreboard page,
Mm-hmm.
I think on hers build is pretty spot on. It was good. All of his items are good. The Ichabod um, is a good item. Don't get me wrong. Um, it does the decreasing your opponent's attack speed is not that valuable against a Mercury who has ninja boots and hasten because the steroid is going to be attacking really fast, even with the Ichabod diva. Maybe could have gotten an Aussie there to try to heal up and forced me to get a toxic blade or something like that instead of a second defensive item as last item. But Ichabod's a good item. There's nothing wrong with it. He's probably going to get Aussie as his last item. Um, Maybe could have gone Thorns himself and tried to just outbox me. Um, but due to the fact that I have stone cutting and I also have medium later on, it's just going to be really tough to beat me in an all-in fight just due to those two items alone. So I mean, I was well played. I think on both sides. I think just the fact that I made it to level 20 meant that it was kind of GG at that point. Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, well done. Thanks for your time, and hope you have fun playing again. And let's see, you made it. You're in Grandmaster right now.
I was in Grandmaster while I was playing Mercury, and I started playing a new. I started trying to play Set now, and I dropped down to Masters again. But um, we'll see. I might play some more Mercury. I just played this one just to get a good replay for this video.
Well, cool. Well, we'll see what happens. It'll be fun to follow your progress back to the top, hopefully. And that's all. Well, thanks again for your time. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you all soon. Bye bye.